Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I am your Ice Dragon, RayronVR, and today we're going to go on a adventure. At first I tend not to, record my repairs, try to figure out DCC a little bit, converting diesels and steam engines and so forth, but today I figure, you know what, let's try something out here. Let's see if we can get this guy DCC ready. Now, this particular steam engine was definitely an impulse buy. I got this right before I created my rules of staying within UP, collecting things within the family heritage and so forth. So when I just got back into it, I went with my old rules of if it's a really good deal, especially if you get it in a good train set, then just buy it. So I got the Milwaukee Road here. This is a this is an 8. No, geez, I can't. I can't think right now. Anyways, this is a 462. That's what I was trying to figure out. My brain just does not want to work today. I don't know why. And this is a Mahano steam locomotive. As you can see here, this is the Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul, and Pacific Chippewa steam engine, and this came with associated heavyweight passengers. So I would like to see this running again, just for something a little bit different, kind of like a visiting train coming to the UP layout a little bit, or the IC railway, I should say. It looks like it's DCC ready, or DCC kind of installed there, because you can see all the typical wires that you will see for DCC. But I really haven't opened this up and figure out what exactly is going on with this engine. I bought it used. I believe I got it from like Facebook Marketplace. But the first thing I want to do is I want to put some power to it just to see if, with my attempts last time to open this up and try to program it, whatever is in this tender was not being read by JMRI. So I don't know if there's a chip in here or not. We're about to figure out. That's going to be kind of the journey of this kind of series. So definitely been heavily modified, as you can see. We've got some weights just going around back here. Yeah, just a ton of weights just chilling in there. Definitely been after manufactured install there. We've got, I'm curious if there's speakers in here, because you can see the holes in the coal. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know what the end result of this is going to be. I'm not even sure if I'm going to post this on YouTube. It's generally not my type of stuff that I will put on the channel, but you know what? Let's just see what happens. Maybe we can take this little journey together here. So what's going to be interesting, let's grab our cradle here, and I want to see if I can get into this tender. So the end goal that I'm kind of going for is that I've got this Bonami decoder here. I originally tried to put it into a T1 Broadway Limited blue line engine that had, like, you can put a decoder in it and it has speakers and everything. I had a lot of glitches with it, and so I want to try to put it into this locomotive and see what happens. So got my Bonami decoder. I do have a soundtrack speaker ready to go here, and I also have the other side of this decoder. I have the wire pins and everything ready to go as well. So you know what? Let's take this journey. Let's see what we got. So right now the kind of main objective is to open up this tender. You guys can see me epically fail and try to gain this open, but we'll see what happens. So first thing first, I see clips here that we need to try to get to. So I'm going to attempt to pry this open and see if we can get it open. But I think just out of good habit, I should probably take this coupler off just so I don't break it. So that's what we're going to do. All right. Alright. Again, I'm not sure how long this series is going to be. If I'm going to do just one big long video or if I'm going to do it episodic. Still kind of debating on the format of these types of videos. I'm still kind of experimenting. Okay, so I do see something blue in there. So you can kind of see something blue. And it looks like a Digitrax decoder. But I'm going to attempt to pry this open. I'm hoping it's not glued down. Okay. So in a little bit of luck. Wow, okay. There's a lot going on in here. Whew, okay. Wow. Oh my goodness, okay. This was heavily kit bashed. I think I'm right about the decoder. I think that's a Digitrax decoder. What I failed to realize is that there is some wood in there. So this was definitely bashed together, and I can see these makeshift screws here is holding everything together. Okay, this should just pop out maybe. Yeah. Wow. Okay, look at that. Wow. Okay, this got a whole bunch more complicated. Okay, so we do have a speakers in here, which is good. That's a good thing. But the fact that now that this was actually confirmed to have a decoder in here. Wow, just, oof, my goodness. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So everything was hardwired into here. I definitely want to save the speakers. Maybe. I'm kind of debating on that. Wow. Okay, let's take this apart here. I'm curious why they made this little device here. Okay. Double-sided sticky tape. There's our speaker. The Digitrax speaker. I'm just going to go ahead and remove it just so I can get a better understanding of the situation here. Yeah, I don't know if I want to reuse any of this, to be honest. I probably want to test it. Okay, so here's our decoder. You know what? I don't even know if this is a Digitrax decoder. There's no markings on it or anything. This doesn't feel like a decoder that I'm familiar with. Everything is hardwired to the board itself. Let's see here. Let's investigate, shall we? So I think this decoder is done because this wasn't even being read by my JMRI system. So this has to get replaced. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this wide open, see if I can get a manufacturer's name on it. Alright, let's see here. This is a brand that I'm not familiar with. ATME GA8. And everything... Wow, this feels like a dinosaur. This feels like a dinosaur chip. So I'm not aware of any chips that are like this. You gotta solder everything to the main board. So I think we have our work cut out for us here. Now I need to figure out what path I want to take with this, because this This is definitely not what I was expecting. I was expecting some sort of a 9-pin assembly is what I thought I was gonna find. Wasn't expected to find this. So, look at all the holes. I'm just looking at this now. Look how many holes are drilled into the chassis here. Absolutely crazy. Had I known this, I probably would have never ever bought this. But, you know, it'll be a lesson learned. I know I can save this. It's just, I am now debating the rabbit hole that I really want to go down with this. Because the way this is configured, I don't know exactly which one's my motor. I could probably figure out my pickups. I got my lighting here. But the thing is, I kind of... Is this an LED or is this a fluorescent? That looks like... Man, I can't even tell. That's a fluorescent bulb, too. It's not even LED. I may just want to gut that whole thing. Just trying to debate what the next step's going to be for this. You can kind of see the wiring here. So I think what we're going to end up doing... I'll tell you what, I know what my next step is going to be. Let's cut all this off. Let's just cut it all off. And I'll probably keep this board as reference. Alright. Because unfortunately, there's no identification markers on. And I just don't know, too, if this board has gone bad. Actually. Yeah, I definitely see potential corrosion. Yeah, that resistor's moved. Is that resistor actually broken? Hang on. No. But anyways, it's not being read by the JMRI. If you guys know what board this is, let me know in the comments. Who makes this? It's definitely one I'm not familiar with. And there's no identification markings on it. And I just don't even know. It's not even labeled where like the motor inputs are, where the pickups are. Yeah, this desperately needed to be replaced. So, okay. So I'm going to put this in my scrap bin. Just leave it over here for right now. Okay, well, this is definitely a rabbit hole. Because now the situation is, I don't know which one's my motors. Which ones, I mean, I got pickups here. So I could potentially, oh my goodness. Let's see here. I mean, we could potentially... I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to have to open up this guy right here. This is probably going to be a full-blown reconversion of this whole entire thing, which is what I was afraid of, and we are officially here. Okay, so we got our pickups. Here's our right pickup. There's our left pickup. We do have resistors to pick up the appropriate size. So these are confirmed our pickups. My concern now is that this is this metal or is this plastic? It looks plastic enough. So I think I can just put a flat piece all across here to start reconstructing our tender here. So you guys are looking at definitely a complex rebuild. I was hoping it was going to be a lot more easier than this, but yeah, there's no identification markings on this decoder whatsoever. So it could be very early gen decoder, which probably explains why this wasn't running. But in good news, with that being said, however, we can test our motor, and that's what I really want to look at. If these are indeed our pickups, we can test our motor, and that's what I want to do next. I'm praying that the motor works, so that's what we need to test out right now. So I've got some leads here. Bam. I'm going to turn that bad boy on, give it some power. Okay, we've got nothing. Oh man, we've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. Even the pickups are not doing anything. Oh man. Whew, okay. So now we may have a potential motor issue as well. Great. So that kind of, there's really only one path to really getting this working again. Really what we're going to have to do is we're going to do a complete rebuild of the locomotives here. So here's what we're going to do. Let's free this guy up. Let's free this up. Yeah, it's time. It's time to free. Be free. Be free, Chinder. You've, clearly you have a rough past. Alright. So, we'll set this guy aside. And now what I would like to do is just feed all these wires if possible. Nope, because it won't work. So clearly the previous owner had to extend the wires because the wires are too short. Maybe I can just feed these one at a time. Let's do that. Let's do that. Nope, because even with that, it is too... Can I do one wire at a time? Yeah, there we go. We can do one wire at a time. And this is what happens when you buy used, quote-unquote, DCC engine. Alright, there we go. Now the tender is free. So yeah, they put these little wood pieces here, so that way it gets a little bit more closer to the top here. Okay, now you get to deconstruct this locomotive. There's even a freaking screw just right there. Look at that. Okay, so we got weight moving all around. Let me see if I can get this weight out, actually. That's going to annoy me a little bit. Is this weight, like, connected to something? There we go. Don't understand why these weights are here. There's another one. I feel like I'm playing Operation. Oh my gosh, there's another one right on top of the motor leads. I may have to open up the body on that one. Yeah. Okay. Physics says no. Let's open this up. Okay, now we get into a whole new rabbit hole here. Let's play. How do we open up the Mahano shell? Mahano. Okay. So let me just do some investigative work here. I think I'm gonna remove this trailing wheels here. Let's start with that. That sounds like a plan. That probably got me nowhere, but at least it's out of the way for right now. Alright, looks like we have a front screw right here that we can get to. Let's grab tweezers. Need to start using these more often. That way I have a little bit more control. Okay, it's definitely getting loose. Come on, baby. There we go. Is there a washer there? No. Look how rusted that is. Okay, it's definitely loose. It's definitely loose. You can see this whole thing is separating. Oh, and we have pieces everywhere. Alright, so that looks like something. Okay, now I got to be a little careful here. Okay, so we got that screw now is probably holding all of this together. It's definitely stripped. There we go. There we go. So now we have official separate. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we could do this one more time. Feed the wire through one at a time. Apologize for all the focusing, unfocusing. It's gonna happen from time to time. Again, this is kind of my first major project. I thought this was gonna be a simple project, but now this is a complete rebuild that this has turned into. Okay, so it looks like we've got wires going to the lights. There's our weights there. So the weights have been milled a little bit, so that way it can fit the engine. Now I can instantly tell this engine has been this whole steamer has been remotored. And the reason I can tell is because this motor is not normal. Oh, they use that. I don't know if I agree with that, but I understand why they did it. This is like a protective or non-conductive protective lubrication that you can put on, so that way you don't get a short. The problem is they did the whole entire terminals, so it's going to be it's going to be stupidly hard to test a motor. One problem after another. Okay, so these are the lights. Can I remove these? Hang on. Wow, they went... Really? Look at that. They went underneath here, through here, to get the lights. And the problem with that... okay, I think here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, this is a complete rebuild. Okay, I'm gonna get that out of the way. Where's the light? It was cracked up there. Looks like this broke off at some point. Alright, so good news is there's our light bulb, but the problem is, wow, this has been this steam engine's it's had a history, man. It's had a history. Wow. Like, someone, in order to get this light bulb to work, they milled the entire middle. They put this polyester or plastic bit. Oh, it's a tube. So they literally milled down the middle and sanded it down. Wow. That's interesting. And it's like they left it to a degree that's almost not even replaceable. Okay. Okay, knowing that. Alright. I'm gonna try to take accountability for all my pieces here. This poor steam engine. It's been neglected. Like, whew, okay. Now I need to figure out my next plan of attack. I think what I need to do, because I gotta do something about this piece. It's like I was gonna cut off this wire, but now that I see how it's constructed, oh, I don't know. I want to do everything proper. I would like to have the front lights. Like, this is a challenge. This is something I was just not expecting to be complicated in this degree. Okay, so one thing I am noticing, though, there's a piece right here. I'm curious, and there's a screw right there. Is that just holding the motor? Yeah, this is holding the motor down. But is it also holding this piece down? And that's all one piece. Okay. For now, I'm just going to kind of hold it together. I think what I really want to do... Man, I just want to cut all this wire. Oh my goodness, we've got lubrication issues, looks like. As well, we got dried lubricants. Yep, that's what that is. Oh, it's dried too. Look at that. Yikes. Okay. Oh, we have another problem that may actually kill this whole project. Oh no, never mind. We're good. Phew. Okay. For a minute, I thought we had a stripped gear. But that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Okay. Alright, I think what I'm going to try to do is scrape this off. I want to get to these leads if I can. Come on, baby. Alright, there's the leads. Let the leads be free. To be honest, if I wasn't recording this and I had opened this up like in the free time, I probably would have just given up on this. Because I've got other locomotives that I can convert. You know, time is precious. But, you know what? I think this deserves a second chance. Okay, we've got the leads free. So the important thing here is to see if the motor even runs. Because if the motor even runs, then that's going to be the end of this episode. Because I don't have a motor to replace this. And there'll definitely be like a part 2 to it. So let's cross our fingers that this works. So let me grab our leads and see if this motor actually even turns over. Kind of hoping, but we'll see. Okay, that's a good sign. Phew. Alright, that is the first positive thing of the day. So the motor indeed runs, which is excellent. Okay. So now we can eliminate that it wasn't the motor, and so I honestly believe that this decoder finally bit the dust. I think it finally bit the dust, which makes sense why I wasn't working on my DCC track, why I wasn't working when I was trying to program it. And so that's good. So now the $1 million question is, now that we know that the motor runs, what I'm probably going to end up doing, I think what we should do is, now that we know what wire is what, we can now afford to rewire. I think this project's going to change a little bit. I don't think I want this being the Bunami decoder. Because I have this wiring already kind of attached to everything, what I would like to do is I'll probably end up converting it to, I'll probably use Decoder Buddy Mini, put it in a tender, and I've got my 21 pin spare Digitrax decoder, because this will make my life a lot easier trying to attach everything back to the Blunami. And considering the hodgepodge job that this steam engine was in, I don't think it'll be a good candidate for the Blunami decoder, to be honest. I kind of just want this running. So that's going to be the first goal. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to attempt to put this all back together. I'm not sure how well this is going to go, but at least we know that the motors are fine. That is definitely a good thing. Okay. So let's attempt to put this back together. So I'm going to take this out, attempt to put this back in here. Now you guys get to experience what goes on behind the scenes when I try to get a brand new locomotive up and going. Because I probably should put it through this way. There we go. So that can stay like that. We can now take, where is that? Here it is. Put this piece back into here. So it's nice and snuggly. Okay. Okay. Let me redo this real quick. Again, this is going to be completely raw footage. You guys get to see this process. I'll probably speed some portions up. I may not. Again, it just depends on what you guys want to see. The good thing about YouTube is that you can fast forward this 2 times speed. A little bit more difficult than I anticipated, but okay. Why does it feel like something's not resting right? I feel like I need one more piece. I think that's this piece. This piece I think needs to go back up in there. Or did it go? Oh, that's why. It goes right there. Ah, okay. The plot thickens. I'm trying to line all this up too, and there we go. Getting to be quite interesting. Okay, there we go. It'll be a miracle if all this kind of lines up and goes back together. Because that has to be like dead center. There we go. Okay, so it looks like this piece goes right back on there. Maybe this piece goes right back in there. And if everything works, it'll line all back up. Okay, one thing I am going to do though, we're going to remove this front wheels here. Come on, focus, thank you. And that probably was a bad idea because that is spring-loaded. Okay, GG engine, GG. You don't like that. I don't like dealing with spring-loaded stuff. I should have known better. Because that keeps the tension on track. GG. Did I just goose something up with this? Probably. Hang on. It's too tight, maybe? Alright, now I done did it. Hang on. Okay, I don't want to lose that spring. Okay. Got the spring at least. Alright, let me see if I can attempt to put this all back together. Actually, pickups, I think I can get it here. So, black and red are front pickups. Black and red. Green and yellow, I think, are our motors. And black, do I have 2 black wires? Yep. So 2 black wires are for the front lights. Black and red. Okay, black and red front. I need to know this because when I go to solder, I need to know what these colors are. Before I do anything else, I need to know what these wires are. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. See, good thing I checked because I've got a mystery wire set here. And now I'm losing pieces. Okay. White and green. I should probably write this down. What are the blue and... where's the blue go to? Where do these two go to? What? Oh, goodness gracious. Do I have to figure out where these two go to? Oh, no. Okay. There are the lights as well. Oh, okay. Got it, got it, got it. So these are the front lights. Then what are these? What's this? Oh, whoa. Okay. Track pickup. Track pickup. Lights. Motor. Okay, got it. Sorry, a lot of mental gymnastics there. Again, these type of projects take me a hot minute. They're not in the standard that I'm familiar with, so this is someone's Frankenstein design here. So playing a little bit of mental gymnastics to figure out exactly what I got here. And I just put the wrong screw in. Take that out. Okay. I know everyone has the way of organizing things, but I am a clutter chaos type of person. So I just throw everything everywhere. Okay. Miracle. All that's lined up. Now for the next tricky bit. Spring-loaded front trucks. And pray I don't ruin the screws here. Or the springs. Okay. I hate how this is coming on an angle. I need a bigger flathead. This should work. Oh, come on. Okay, I think we finally got it. There we go. That feels better. Man, look at the front coupler here and how it's attached. My goodness. And that's already smashed to hell. Yeah, this is definitely a, this net desperately needs some TLC. This poor thing. This poor thing. Okay. Hoping I didn't bend any of the rods here. Okay. Okay, so these are front lights. The black and red are pickups. And finally, see, look, the color switch on the extension. So now it's even more chaos. These two are our motor pickups. Okay. Now that we know that, I think what I'm going to do, now I need to figure out one more. Let's put the screw back in to the back here. Okay. And I'll probably leave that open so I can see all the motors. So we get to see all the wires. Oh, son of a gun. I forgot a piece. Alright. Yeah. That happens. That's why I can still see the motor. Alright, let me see if I can... This happens, you know. Just when you think you got everything together, you forget one little crucial detail. And you remember not to make that mistake again. Okay, I think I should be able to just sneak that piece in there. Maybe, perhaps. There we go. Surprised that I have a lot of patience for this project. But, you know what? We're gonna do it. There we go. I believe this engine deserves a second chance. It's just definitely taking me a lot longer than I thought. Okay, I'm going to try my best to not pinch any wires here. Okay. Now that we know the rest of the story, here's what we're going to do. Let's put the trailing trucks on, because I don't think... We tested that the motor is fine. So, we're good on that front. I think the big thing now is, can we just get it running? Or get it back up to DCC? Okay, I don't want to strip that too much. Did I put the wrong screw in the wrong place? Probably. Yeah, it still works either way. Alright, and then finally, oh, that was, I knew I was missing something. I'm missing the trailing wheels. Hang on. Hold the phone, Batman. We can... It's this guy that needs to go back. Now the question is, I don't remember which way this goes. Okay, I think it's going to be this way. Yeah, that looks... I'll look at the footage later, see if I have this upside down. If I have upside down, I'll fix it. Right now, I'm just kind of looking on the base grooves. I feel like I'm missing a spring or something here. Am I missing a spring? I hope I'm not missing a spring. Not confident about this. Okay. Is that moving? Yeah, it's moving. Oh, if I find that spring... Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. Alrighty, so here's what we're gonna do. Now we need to take all these pieces aside here. Okay. Make sure no pieces. Feels good. Alright, now for this. So, this is where we need to look at this piece again. And see what our length's gonna be. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, now we need to look at our tender. And I think we are... I'm probably going to keep this, but try to trim it up just a little bit more. And I probably... Debating if I want to use this again, perhaps. Because I'm not sure if the speaker is still good or not. Oop. Oh, why did they glue it? There we go. Yeah, it was definitely glued down. I don't know if the speaker is still any good, to be honest with you. This is 0.5 watts, 8 ohms. And that is definitely dried up. Wow. I don't know if I want to use this speaker. I think I'll just install my new one. Alright, so let's start looking at this here. I just want to get a taste of what I want to do. Alright guys, so a little bit of a jump there. It has been approximately a couple days since I started the first half of this video. Need to take a break, need to reassess exactly what direction I want to take with this locomotive and its DCC reinstall now. And so I thought about it for a little bit, and I think as far as this Bunami is concerned, I am not going to install it on this particular locomotive. I think what I'm going to do is just stick with the Decoder Buddy Mini, and just put it in there, put all the wires and functionalities that I do kind of have on this, and then just go from there and just make sure we can get it DCC equipped. I'm not going to put any speakers or anything. I'm going to save it for another engine, considering that my amount of speakers and decoders, I have very limited supply of those, but we're just going to put a basic decoder in here. Probably put, I think I've got a 21 pin, let's see, yeah, so I got this 21 pin Digitrax here that I can use. And another thing I want to experiment with is I do want to put a Keep Alive in here, and what I'm going to do with this, yeah, I don't know if this is going to work, so it's going to be an experiment, is I'm going to put the Keep Alive here, we're going to attach it directly to the board here. So I'm just going to cut this in half and attach it directly to the board for this particular Keep Alive. And I want to see if it works. So that's kind of the future. We're going to go with this. So we'll make it a DCC without sound steam engine for right now, just so I can get my hands wet when it comes to DCC installs for steam engines. So let's go ahead and try to get everything situated, and we'll go from there. So I kind of decided I'm going to put the decoder on the back here, and so I had to go out and get some different type of mounts for it. So this is a double-sided mounting squares. I'm going to try this and see if this works a little bit better. I did have some Scotch tape, but I really didn't like it. It was a little too thin for me. So I need something a little bit thicker to go onto the actual piece here. So we'll check out these mounting squares. So let's put one right there, and then we'll take another one, put it right there. Alright, let's see if I can peel this back. There we go. And then we'll just put this bad boy right on top. So it's a little uneven, but I think we'll be fine. Okay. So next thing we need to do is go ahead and start wiring things up a little bit here. Now for the official reinstall. So what I need to do is I need to reinstall the pickups from our tender here. So again, this is where orientation is going to matter. So we can see that we got the pickups coming from the left rail on the back here, and then we got the pickups on the right. So I'm gonna need to clean this off a little bit. Let's see, let's grab this. What I would like to do is just clean off the contacts here. So that way I can get a nice connection point for these pickups. I'm not going to put an LED back here. Right now my main goal is just to, I want functionality. I want, well, functionality as in I want my motor to run. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to reuse some of this old wire. I like reusing, I don't like putting anything to waste. So these were, I think, the wires from before. So we're just going to put it to that pickup point to the back here. I think what I'll do is we'll use this one to go to this one. That should be a good distance. So Let's nip this off. I think this is going to be a good amount of distance here. And so I'm using my diagram here. I've got this little diagram. So we got track A and track B. So the way I'm going to do it is that the left-hand side is going to be track A, and the right-hand side is going to be track B. So again, this side is B. That one's going to be A. So this is my A to A. So B is going to be the bottom one here. So let's do this. I need to strip these. Let's see. So I think these are way small. Let's try the. There we go. So we got that stripped. Let's get this side stripped. Let's see. Let's go one bigger. There we go. Okay. Let's grab some flux. Dip it into there. Okay. Grab my tweezers here just to hold that aside. Okay. Let me get my soldering iron ready to go. Another thing I think I want to do is just put some flux on. Well, that's solder itself, so it should be fine. Let us pre-tent these corners here. Again, this is going to be really small, so it'll be a little bit difficult for you guys to see, but I'm just putting a little bit of solder on the tips here. Tinting it. Alright, so now what we're going to attempt to do is solder this bad boy up. There we go. Alright, so that should be well connected. Yep. And then now what we need to do is bring it around here. Again, this is track B. So this one's going to be, what's on the track? Yep, that's track B. Alright, so next thing we gotta do is we need to add some flux to our decoder. This is where I need my toothpick method. So what I tend to do is grab a little bit of my toothpick here. I kind of roll my toothpick, put it on the pad here, and try to rotate the toothpick to let it off. And now we have a little bit there on the pad. And then let's grab some solder. And I'll go right on the pad there. And again, I'm not an expert when it comes to, soldering and so forth. I'm still learning the ropes. So everyone's method, everyone's way of putting soldering on and so forth, it's going to be a little bit different. It all depends on your taste. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, barely got that on there. Okay. So there's our first pickup. And then now we're going to do the same thing for this side. Get it onto the other pad here. So do the same thing again. Get some flux. Roll it onto here. And again, you can put the flux on and tint these before you put it onto the actual body. It's kind of 6 in one, half dozen others, all based on your preference. Preference, your skill, style, just, it's different, you know? There's always more than one way to skin a cat when it comes to this. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab our other piece here. Again, I'm just going to do the same thing here, so we're going to double check. This is our left side, which is track A. That's the right pad, it says track A, track A. We can go ahead and continue with our wiring here. Okay, so now what I would like to do is get that right there. So we can cut it like right there. Alright, let's strip all this. Yeah, a little too much. Come on. A little trickier on this one. There we go. So this one's a 30 wire. There we go. Now let me make sure that we can still get to the connection points here. Yep, we're still good. Okay. Yeah, cut this access off. There we go. Okay, let's get some flux on the wire here. Get some more flux on this side. Okay. Hold that wire for me for right now. Okay. Try to do our best here to connect the two. All right, there we go. So that's connected. Again, I know it's a little bit small here, so we'll try to see if I can zoom you guys in a little bit. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out this setup a little bit. Okay, so then we're going to try to solder that part to that part. Oh, wait, man, that barely got that on. Not bad though. Should work. Okay, so we got our first pickups here. We're ready to go. This is why I'm a big fan of these Decoder Buddy Minis. It just makes it so much simpler for me to just grasp the concept of how the wiring and everything goes together. Alright, so I'm gonna put my speaker away because I don't need it. We'll use that for a different project, assuming it even works. So one thing I think I should have tried first is making sure that this wire is good to go to the motor. So we're looking at our white and green. Okay. Alright, so next thing I do want to hook up is our motor. And these are going to be our front pickups. So what I want to do, so I got to measure the length on this. So it'll probably be a good idea to just put it all together here. Okay. Try to get you guys zoomed in here. Again, bear with me. This is kind of like my first video trying to attempt something this ambitious. Okay. Okay, so we need to get our motor. So our motor, let's see, where's our motor pickups here? It is right over here. So there's our M1 and M2 right there. So that's our motors. So now what I need to experiment with, see, I was hoping I can cut off right there, but that's going to be too tight. So we are going to need this extender bit. I was hoping I didn't have to need it, but I'm going to need it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to cut these out. I'm going to strip these down. And then what I would like to do is put my tester, my DC. Let's do this, because I want to make sure that this still runs. Yep. Okay. So those wires do work. So now we can connect it to our motor here. So let's put some more flux on the motor ports here. Let's grab some more flux. Or not flux, solder, that's the word I'm looking for. Alright, one thing I do need to grab, you know, something that I should be doing is cleaning the board off with alcohol. I'm probably actually going to need it for this. Do I have... I do. I have 91% alcohol. Let me grab that real quick. Got some excess flux there that I don't want. So I'm going to clean that off real quick. There we go. I try to keep my alcohol as high up as I can because I've got cats, so I don't want them getting sick from them. All right, I think we're in that step now that we can put our motor wires in. I also want to put some flux on the wires here. There we go. If you're wondering what paste I use this Flux 135 rosin paste flux SRA. And then if you're curious about the solder, there's the solder. Okay, let's grab my motor wires again. Again, it is green and white here. Now for this particular solder that I'm using, I'm at 650 degrees with this soldering iron. One thing I realized is that the solder iron I had before only went up to like 400 degrees, so it didn't heat up the solder right away, so it took forever to do. With this, it almost melts it in seconds. There we go. Alright, so now we got our motor wires squared away. I think what I would like to do is start doing a little bit of cable management. Hang on, if it's one thing I don't want happening is for my wires to cross. I think we're good. Okay. Okay, this is the part I wish I had some green liquid. That, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it prevents from the two from touching, but we'll do the best we can with it. Okay, so we got our front pickup, or the truck pickups are installed. The next thing I want to do is do the front pickups that are actually from the locomotive body itself, and these are going to go to the front pads here. So again, track B is going to be on my right side. So the right side, I actually have to go back to my part 1 of this video to figure out exactly what my right side was, and it's this guy right here. So this is the right side. This is the track A pickup. So what I would like to do, yeah, see, it's so close, but it's so far. I understand why this is split in 2 wires. This is for the light as well, but I'm not gonna, not say for the light, I should say. It's more the pickup for something else. I'm gonna cut it because I'm not gonna use it anymore. Okay, and then now, see, I could do it this way, but it's not gonna give me enough slack. So I am gonna push this back a little bit. And it actually needs to go on this side because the right side is B. Hang on, let me check something real quick. I should be looking at it this way. Let's see, B, B, A, B, yep, so now, okay, before I mess this up. Okay, that's the left side, that's A, that's going into track A, yep. And this should be B. Nope, that's A. Yeah, I think I've already got this kind of backwards. That's fine. I'll just invert it. So this is A, and that's going into B. Yeah, I'm glad my orientation was wrong on my diagram, so I actually got these backwards, which is fine. I'll just make sure that this one is now A. A. Yeah, that one's B now. B, so that is the left. So what I need to try to remember, let's do this. I wonder if I do. Let's grab a piece of paper. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Just because now I'm getting my orientation kind of mixed up. We got 2 rails. No, it's kind of crooked, but whatever. The pickup is going to be, I think I've got this backwards now. Yeah, so this is now B. This is now A. So that'll give me the correct orientation that I need. So now I look at my isolators. My isolators here, so that's going to be A, and that should be to A. Yep. Isolators here on the right hand side, so that means this is B, B. That should be going to B. Yep. Okay, so we're on the right track. So I'm going to keep my little cheat sheet up here, so that way I know exactly where I'm wiring things to. It's quite a thought process. There's a lot of little things you got to keep in mind, and I definitely overcomplicate things. I do that a lot when it comes to this stuff. So once I get my ducks in a row, we'll be good to go. Okay, so now we know that this is, in fact, B now. Now I can go ahead and get my front pickups. So the bottom is now A, that's B. And so I know that the pickup on the right is going to be A. So now A needs to go over here. And this should be A as well. Yep, that's A. Okay, we got it. We're rolling. We are rolling. Let's see here. A to A. That's B. See, this is actually going to A. Okay. Okay, that's there, so that's picking up from the right side. That's going to A. Okay, sweet. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do, this is the right side, that's going to be A. We're going to put this in A. Again, it always, it's one of those things like, you know, the old motto of measure twice, cut once. I'm like triple checking, because if I mess this up, it causes a short. And we don't want that. We don't like shorts. Okay, put some flux on there. Let me also strip my wires here. Okay. Get some flux on there as well. Okay, let's tint this. Okay, and then let's do this. Boom. Hang on. There we go. I think we got it. There we go. Okay, and then again, we're going to triple check everything here. So the white wire is on the right hand side correlates with A. Looking at my diagram here, that's also A, so we're good. We finally got that squared away. One thing I need to do is clean this up a little bit. Got a lot of excess flux there. Alright, so that's our pickup there. And then we got to get our other side pickup, which is our black here. The black is on the left, so left is going to be the B rail. B rail is the top on the board. So we should be good to go. So again, I'm kind of in the same boat here. We kind of have to go past our splitter here. I'll get rid of this extra wire. Again, I can still use all these extra wires. One thing I highly recommend is any loose wire you and cut like this, save them. Because these type of wires in this small of size is actually hard to come by. So I try to recycle them and reuse them as best as I possibly can. You never know. You never know when you may need to find some more of that size wire. Alright, there we go. Alright, so let's put the flux back on. Let's put the flux on the pad. Okay. Let's pre-tint this. And once again, I put a little too much. All right, so let's go ahead and put this onto here. Yeah, then let that cool off to connect. Okay. Sometimes you gotta hold it for a few seconds for that solder to dry, and then it's basically, you'll see it in a liquid form, and then you'll see like a dull silver color. That's when you know that the solder has cooled and you got a good connection. Alright, so that's our two pickups. So again, just double check. A and B, A is on the right. So A on this board is the bottom pickup. So take a look down here. Yeah, it's picking up from the right A. This will be picking up from the right B. So that's B, B, and I remember from my last video that this is B as well. So all of our pickups are squared away. So we're almost there. So now what we can do, try to huddle that down a little bit. So the last wires that we got to sort out now are lights. So we got front lights here. That's these two wires. Now I think we've got a function. I'm debating if I really want to do this. Yeah, so we got, I think that's our first function. I'll double check here real quick. Yeah. I think what I'm actually going to do is not install the lights on this one. Yeah. Now we'll do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to install the lights just yet, because I kind of want to go back in there and replace it with LEDs. So I'm just going to tuck these lights away for right now. Okay, so the last thing we got to do is put our Keep Alive in here. So the Keep Alive, alright, let's take a look at this here. I need to do a little bit more research on the Keep Alive. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so did a little bit more research, and so found out a few things, because I couldn't remember how the orientation went, and you're really going to need to get this right when it comes to power supply. So as you can see here on the board, there's blue arrows and there's white arrows. So the blue arrows is the one thing that I was looking into, and it states in the instructions here, blue wires are connected to the board, are model railroad oriented. All red car LED wires should go to U+ pads, meaning the black ones are going to be the I think your grounds are commons. But anyways, so that's what I was trying to figure out, is what's the orientation for our keep alive here. So I'm just going to cut this in half. I definitely want to save this because these can be used for future applications with Digitrax. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to install our keep alive, because we're definitely going to need it for something like this. Probably have to put it right on top here. So that's how we're going to install it. So our keep alives here, let's grab the motor. I'll put this upside down, and so our keep alives are going to be, so that's our speakers. So it's going to be these two right here is where I need to attach it to. So I'll probably come from this angle and put our keep alive right there. So that's what we're going to be working with. So now what we do, what I should do actually, before I even think about soldering this, is disconnect it from the actual keep alive and put that aside, because what I don't want happening is that the heat of the soldering iron goes back to the wire and affects my capacitor. So we're going to keep that off real quick. And so let's go ahead and do this and strip it. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and tint our board here. Get some flux on here. There we go. Maybe a little too much, we'll see. Okay. All right, so again, remembering that the right side is going to be the red and the left side is going to be the black. There we go. All right, first up. Okay, let's take a look at that there. Yeah, not bad. Give it the old tug test here. Okay, looks good. All right, so that's our keep alive. And I think for the most part, we can go ahead and start bundling this back up here. What I would like to do first, though, is just kind of wrap all this up here. All the wires are still insulated, so they're not going to interfere with my pickup there and short me out. Again, this is going to be for a future project if I want to get back to it for the front lights there. But I'm just going to kind of bundle all this up. We're going to put some tape on it. This tape is the worst to mess with. Alright, and a flat edge here. Alright. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to get this tape to cooperate. Not the funnest stuff in the world to mess with. There we go. I just want that to hold everything in place, so I can just get everything back together. Okay, so kind of the next thing I want to do is grab another double-sided sticky tape here. And I just want a place for the keep alive. Okay. Put it right there. Let's reconnect the keep alive. There we go. And then I think what I need to actually do where's my shell? Okay. The coder probably has to go in next before I do the keep alive. So let's do that next. Let's grab our decoder. Let's see here. Let's see, I probably put it out here somewhere. Yep, there it is. All right. So now we gotta make sure we got the orientation right. And then we can put it into our board. For me, this is always the scary part, because sometimes you may have bent pins. Yeah, that's what I thought. Gotta be ever so slightly gentle with this stuff. Let's see here. Yep. Alright guys, I think what I want to do is I want to do a quick pause here to get this lined up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, after much finicky moving things around, all the pins are in. I got keep alive here. So I'm going to do my best to get this shell back on. Now, something else I kind of realized, I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to need to drill a good chunk of this out, so that way the wires can get through the way I have it configured. So let me drill this out, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so it took me a little bit to finesse this thing in, but I was able to use the old hole there for the pickup there. And so I was able to get the cable management squared away. Took a little bit of effort. But there's our engine. What we're going to try to do now is get this back on the cradle. Install the rip that. Let's get the coupler back installed and see if it runs. And I call this project done for right now. Alright, let's get this back on the cradle. Alright, let's get this back on. I'll get this. Let's see, where's my other... There it is. This is what I want. Okay, it's a little too tight. Okay. Well, there we go. Let's put this on the track and see how it goes. Alright guys, now for the moment of truth. Let's see if this will run. Look at that. That is a success. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching our first conversion to a properly running DCC steam engine. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.